moving from the side garden. This is the back end of my backyard. um, this is a desert willow, which I enjoy so much. I planted it 15 years ago, and it's a nice medium-sized tree. It is leafless in the winter, but pretty soon it's leafed out now that it's spring, and I'm going to get some lovely pink flowers soon. Then I have Texas sage. So actually, this is heavenly cloud. It's a light, slightly darker green sage, and it flowers a little bit more than your standard green cloud. This is my lovely, here we go, here's the whole view, Palo Blanco. They're really prized for their white bark, and it has kind of a weeping appearance, and it's a really great tree for narrow areas, such as a side yard. This is the yellow bells. It's not quite leafing out yet. Excuse me, not quite flowering yet. And I do love the yellow flowers that appear spring through fall. This one is Tacoma stands. It's a more lusher appearing Tacoma. It has a wider leaf. And here, I don't want to give you whiplash, but here is against the wall here. That big tall one in the background is Tacoma stands angustifolia, I believe. Narrower leaf, a little more cold hardy, and as you can see, they get quite a bit bigger. So, oh, here we go. Redbird of Paradise, Kesselpinia, Pulcherima. Prune back in winter. Actually, I prune them back in January, and they're ready to come back and decorate my garden with beautiful orange-red blossoms this summer. So, let's go back. Here we go. All right. It's really important. I love to have large shrubs break up that bare expanse of my block wall, which, isn't that pretty. But it's important to not ignore adding things down below. And to that end, I just started adding this. Boulders with lower growing plants. So here's a Firecracker Penstemon with a Blackfoot daisy. The Blackfoot daisy is going to really spread out and decorate this lower space. Over here we go, is a regular a green cloud Texas sage. I love to allow it to grow natural, with the exception that I do like to prune up the base. I think it gives a little bit of a neater appearance, and it keeps it from kind of growing into the grass. So that's what I do with mine. It's getting a lot of nice new growth now that spring is here. And this one is about 4 years old, and I only lightly prune it. Here's my big bougainvillea. When I first created this garden, we built the house and I created the garden. And the bougainvillea, I used to have several, and now I just have this one. Most people have a love or hate relationship with bougainvillea. I love the color. I think it can be an asset in the landscape, as long as you don't go overboard. And I don't have a pool because I like plants too much, so I didn't put a pool in. And so this one stands. It's the center point. It's clearly visible from my house, and I'm happy to have it. Over here, we are working with a little bit of design. So we have some symmetry here. We have another green cloud Texas sage. And then here's another yellow bells. This one has begun to flower. And interestingly, we hear that hummingbirds love, red and orange flowers, but they love yellow bells. They just love them. And, these are nice sized flowers, and they do quite well. In the corner here, I have pink trumpet vine. It's kind of ceased flowering for now. Usually they do most of their flowering late winter into spring. I'm hoping I get a few more. And then it starts again in the fall. And over here is my hummingbird container garden. Now, if you've been reading my blog for any time, I made these a few years ago. When I had to do a talk for the Hummingbird Festival, they wanted me to talk about, small container gardening. And so I created these. So in the pots, I have mostly shrubs and ground covers. I have the orange flowering plant is a Mexican honeysuckle, Justicia spicigera. Behind it, I have a bluebell shrub. And here is just purple trailing lantana with, I have a Sierra Star fairy duster behind. And here we go, a little closer. Back here, we're not flowering yet, but this is a flame acanthus, which is a wonderful shrub. And it produces tiny orange tubular flowers, spring through fall. So it's getting ready to go. So I love that. Let's back out a little bit again. Oh, actually, you may wonder what these pavers are inside. We have a lot of feral cats in the neighborhood, and they were using my pots as a litter box. So I just took some paver stones and stuck them in there, and problem solved. Over here is Coral Fountain, which is a really lovely kind of tropical looking plant. And I have a few of those around my Palo Verde, my Desert Museum Palo Verde. This is the new star in my garden. This is an Amistad Salvia. And Amistad Salvia, I've seen them growing in California. And salvias can be a little particular here in the desert. So I have it in filtered shade. I'm hoping it survives the summer. I really wanted to survive the summer, so this is kind of an experiment. We'll see how this one does. Finishing here with some lower plantings, purple lantana with a nice boulder. And so that is this part of the garden. We're gonna finish over here. I have this is actually, this vine here is my purple lilac. This was a massive vine. It was 6 years old, and I had a lot of buildup of old dead growth underneath, which is normal. So I had to take it back down to the ground, and it's slowly coming back, which is good. And here is our Meyer lemon tree. This is a relatively new tree. You'll notice that the trunk is painted white. If you maintain your citrus trees in a tree form, the white citrus paint helps to protect the trunk against sunburn. They're really susceptible to sunburn, which can lead to a lot of diseases and things like that. And behind here against the fence to this other side guard, I have another purple lilac vine, which just finished flowering for me. These are wonderful vines because they flower in the winter when there's little else going on. Okay, I'll show you my side garden. There's really not much here. This is where the dogs live, where we keep a lot of our gardening stuff. The only thing I have there is a really, really, really big Desert Museum Palo Verde. I know I love them. And against the plastic pool, you'll see a bougainvillea